Hey guys, I know I'm super bright, but the way that the light's hitting, it's hitting hard today, as you can tell. Now I could move. Maybe this might work. Nope, still not. You're just gonna have to see me in my angelic phase. I was supposed to do a live yesterday, but I'm not gonna lie, I felt like crap. I went to urgent care. They did a COVID test on me. I'm still feeling like crap, but a lot better than um, what I was doing. So I figured I would jump on here and see how everyone's doing. If anybody's got any questions this week, I just went ahead and I made a blog for the Divine Witch website. I haven't made a blog apparently since July, which is horrible on my part. I know a while back I'm like, I'm going to do this and that, and it just kind of never really worked out. So here we are. And it was called What Makes a Witch. And I'm pretty proud of it. I mean, I didn't really give you a direct answer. It's one of those things where you're going to have to read it and kind of form your own opinion and your own thoughts about it. But I was pretty proud of it. I figured while I'm doing this live, I would do a check-in as well. Everything's been good besides being sick. I've been busy, trying to keep up with everything, trying to work for the crafts I'm making for the Witch's Ball coming up at the end of the month. Still trying to do things with the kids, and then you got homeschooling and all that jazz, so, that makes it fun. I'm trying to figure out what my next book is that I'm going to read. There's a few I'm tossing up in the air right now. One is Ceremonial Magic. It was made, let me see if I can find it online. It was actually suggested to me by a friend of mine, and I figured I'd give it a deep dive, and then we'll probably make that the book for November. For October, I think it was in a previous live I did where I talked about what book we would be reading for October. And I'm going to make a video about that book because I have talked about making sure that I put it out there and do a review on it. But I kind of want to wait and post the review towards the end of the month. That way, which one is it? But the book I'm currently reading is Transcendental Magic. It's Doctrine and Ritual for anybody that's curious, by the way. I've got to go through my... it's called The Book of Ceremonial Magic. Includes rites and mysteries of the Goetic, theurology, sorcery, and infernal necromancy. That's the one I'm looking at for November. But like I said, I haven't got it yet. So I figured what I would do is I would go ahead, read the book a month prior to what I'm asking you guys to read. So that way, I can go over it a little bit here and there. If you guys want me to, I will actually make a book club where I will post about the book, and then you guys can have online discussions as well. That's something that you guys are interested in doing. I am going to be writing tonight a few more blogs just to kind of get us caught up on the website as well, because I'm going to try to do things light this week. Last week I went too heavy, and I think that's part of the reason why I got sick. But, it is what it is when you push yourself. Self-care is very important. I just tend to forget about it. I have been hydrating more, so that's a good thing. I've been sleeping really well. That's not been an issue. As far as anything in the house, since I've been on the descent into the underworld, it's not been bad. Like, I thought it was going to be really bad at first, and then it has its moments. Like, some days is the house is just crazy, and then some days it's not. Over the weekend, the way that my house is, it was built in 26. So the steps are all original, and you get those creaking on the steps. Well, my husband was at work, my kids were gone, my dogs were put up for the night, and I kept on hearing somebody walking up and down my steps, up and down my steps. And then when I got ready to go to bed, I heard him go right back up the steps. So I'm like, okay, someone's around. Today, it was so weird. Like, I was sitting there and I wasn't really even thinking about anything. I was talking with my husband and we were going over bills and stuff like that. And then the next thing I know, on top of my hand, I just felt this coldness. And it isn't that cold in our house, and it was only in that one area. You know how, like, when you feel something, you can feel the shift differential, like you move just up a hair and it's warm, but if you're right there, it's cold. That's what I was getting. So, that made me go, who's trying to hold my hand? But other than that, it's not really been bad. I mean, as far as like thoughts or negativity, I haven't really had any of that. It's been more like light-hearted and uplifting more than it's been down and dreary and stuff like that. So I'm really happy on the path that I'm going down right now. I have noticed that with the jewelry making that I'm doing, there is a lot more emphasis on the dark side. Give me a second. I'll show you guys what I mean if I can find the bag. Plus, over the weekend, I went and visited Coven members who have their own shop, which is called Ragnar's Riches. By the way, Crossroad Collection, which is my business of like different witchy items, along with like self-care items such as lotions and things like that. I ended up taking some up there and putting it in their shop. And it was fun. And it's kind of, that's a great thing about like when you see somebody progress to a certain level, like Ragnar, I've been known for a while, and her as well. And like, I don't want to say her name on here. She hasn't really came up with a magical name yet, so I'm not trying to like put her information out here as well. But it's just nice to see the progression. And today embarks the year journey. Yeah, actually, right now, I guess it would be a year and a day since they got together. And, they got together. They've moved in with each other. Like, they both started new jobs. And now they got the business going. And it's like one of those things as a priestess, you sit back and you're like, it's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch. See, the sun's moving now. It's amazing to watch the growth happen. And I know this weekend I was kind of in and out of it. But, we are doing good as far as that. Trying to find one that really displays what I'm talking about. I'll probably end up putting a few photos at the end of different things I'm going to carry as well. But I am going to show you guys some of the stuff that I made over the weekend. Now, the skulls are courtesy of Ragnar's Riches because he had some and he offered them to me. And I was like, yeah, I can totally do something with that. So, that's a thing now. I've also been trying my hand at wire wrapping. I'm still new at it, but it is something that I am diving into. Hopefully you can see it. Let's see. If you look right there. I just like the way that turned out right there because it almost looks like something fancy smancy. Now, I know you guys see a lot of these around, but I went ahead and wire wrapped it and put a little skull on it. You can use these for pendulums. You can use it for protection, spirit work, stuff like that, depending upon the crystal and stuff. So, It's very fun to do. And the great thing about it is you can wear it as a necklace and, not have to worry about like what people might think. That's the fun part. Now this one I made, it's kind of a dual. Like you can switch it for whatever side that you want to. So on one end, it's got like the bats. Let's see if I can get this. Like the bats and that. And then you can reverse it and have it to where it's like this. And I just like the way that it looks. It's neat, no matter how you wear it. And that's the thing, like, when I start my descent, I always get more creative than any other time in the year. Because, you're in the house more, or at least I am. Especially, during cold seasons anyway. It was one of those things where I get to do more than I normally do throughout the year. Because normally throughout the year, besides this year, I'm doing fairs and festivals, and then you've got meetups and talks of different groups and stuff like that. So it kind of makes it hard to be able to be super creative, but I also did this one as well. I really liked it. And then if you shake it, I don't know if it'll show. Probably won't. Actually, I think this one doesn't move. But I do got some that have little shaky bits. So that was fun, yeah. I think that's another thing, I know everybody's like, oh, this has been a crap year, but honestly, if I'm speaking from a place of acknowledgement, I'm kind of happy that COVID happened in a way. Not as far as people dying, but as far as giving me time to actually take a step back. And that's one thing, we always talk about when it comes to self-care is taking a step back. And I've always been the type of person, like, I keep on pushing forward and pushing forward and pushing forward, when really I should take a step back. So that's one of the reasons why this year I was pretty thankful for COVID. It just gave me a time to realign myself and get into the space I needed to get into, and gave me time to just do things on my own, you know what I mean, as far as like in my path, instead of doing things that were community based. So then I got this one that I made. I haven't put it on a chain yet. I really want to do a chainmail necklace to it. That's a dingly. Who doesn't like a jingly? Which is also one of those cases where you could use it like a pendulum if you wanted to. Just something fun to play with. Like I say, sometimes it's better to get that creative juices out than leaving them concealed. Then you get angry and pent up, and who wants that? It's so funny because, like, as I'm sitting here, I'm watching the sun go down into the horizon, and it's so pretty. And you guys can see the descent as well, as far as like the lighting and stuff like that. But it's just pretty to look at. But I ended up making this one too as well. It's not super fancy, but probably help if I showed you their faces. Maybe. Let's see. And this is how it's supposed to hang on there. But I thought it was pretty cool. I've been trying to figure out, because like normally I think this is like a clasp, like where you can hook it on to one and then do to the other. But I wanted to give it a different light, a new life. Because I feel like that's how my journey right now is going. A different life, a different light. And it just seemed really symbolic. So hopefully, I know a lot of you guys are still being cooped up because of health reasons and stuff like that during COVID. But hopefully, we can come to some kind of normalcy at some point. I don't know about you guys, but it would be nice to occasionally see the other human beings, which I'm going to be, and I plan to wear a mask and everything else. Got a huge bottle of sanitizer that literally looks like a liquor bottle. So I'm going to take that with me whenever I go to this witch's ball here in Cincinnati. I'm really excited about it, if you guys can tell. But I hope you guys are doing good. I just wanted to check in with you and let you guys know I didn't forget about you. I just, life, body, mind, the whole thing. But I will be posting a lot more as far as on the Divine Witch, probably more blogs, and, you know, more activities and things like that. There's a few more things I got to do today, and then I'm going to call it a night so that way I can rest for the next day. But I wish you guys well, and blessed be.